Welcome back, my beautiful young ladies. Oh my God. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Baby Mama Chronicles is in full effect, y'all. Based on the last video, most of you hopefully that you watched, I let you guys know in the bio and in the video that I was going to be embarking on a new journey under the title of Baby Mama Chronicles. That is a project that I started many years ago. It actually started as a YouTube page. If you type in Baby Mama Chronicles, you'll see me 10 plus years ago when I first started the page, just getting acclimated to YouTube. Unfortunately, I didn't continue it. So, of course I started doing all kinds of other things. I had a baby, hello, and I just had a whole bunch of other things going on. Basically, with the topic that I came with that really seemed to get you guys, engaged with me was, the 5 tips on getting over your baby daddy, right? And so it just dawned on me, hey, the whole concept of being a baby mama, like, it means so much to me, not only because I am one, but because I know the stereotypes that are, put on people that are women that choose to have babies, because it is a choice. In today's time in 2020, it is a choice. But women that choose to give birth and have their babies, the type of stigmas and stereotypes that's put on them just because they're not married. Right? So we're here to debunk those stereotypes and prove them wrong, and also shed light and just kind of give more context to who these individual women are, opposed to just labeling them and kind of blanket labeling them based on what we see on TV, reality TV, and all of that different kind of stuff. We are real women with real stories, real situations, real drama, and truth be told, most of the people that exist in the world did not come into the world because it was 2 people that just loved each other and they just decided to extend the love of their relationship and just have a baby. A lot of these people, a lot of us walking around here mistakes. Oops, babies, you know what I'm saying? Keep a nigga baby, trap babies. I had to hurry up. Our parents had to hurry up and get married because they was pregnant with me, babies, all that. So don't feel bad, okay? So again, based on, first of all, again, I just have to say thank you, you guys. I really am committed to this YouTube channel. And, for me, at this point, it's not a thing about numbers. It's not a thing about, how many views I get, how many subscribers. Like, this is a passion project for me. Obviously you do this stuff, you're not getting paid. I have a lot of other endeavors or whatever that I'm working on with the hope to get paid, which I will share those things with y'all or whatever as those things to, begin to develop. But this specifically is a passion project. This specifically is something that I do out of my heart because I want to be able to connect with you guys and hope that we can all help each other, kind of get some understanding about this crazy world that we live in and how we exist in it. So I just want to thank you guys for supporting me. Every comment that you leave, all my subscribers. I got like 400 and something subscribers. So shout out to y'all for rocking with me and just showing me so much love and positivity and upliftment. And I promise to give y'all the same back. I have commented back on a lot of the comments that you guys have left on the other videos, and I will continue to engage with y'all and give y'all the best game that I have to give based on my experience, okay? That being said, it was so much feedback about still about women with kids, baby mamas, basically not being able to really understand why the relationship with their baby daddy didn't work, or honestly, just speaking honestly and openly, which I appreciate. Oh my God, I love honesty. I love truth tellers. I love people that can stand in their truth, even if it makes them look a certain way to other people. Like, I admire and respect that so much. But it was, women that were basically saying, they not that they just weren't over their baby daddy, but their baby daddy may have moved on, or the girl that the baby daddy moved on with could have potentially, been the girl that, her baby daddy cheated on them with, like all kinds of just stories, right? But you still having love for him, and you still having just compassion in your heart for him and a connection to him and a bond with him that you're not really quite ready to let go. Like, you still love him. So And this is gonna be like my infamous green book. I might try to make this book a little bit fancier than this one day and kind of make this a part of my thing. But as of now, it's just we hood. You know what I'm saying? We piecing it together. It's peaceful, but it's hood at the same time. You feel me? Okay, so again, just to preface, you know, this is not going to be a video for women who are in situations in which the person that you chose to have a baby with, the way that baby was created was done in a way that was conniving or dishonest or, you know, scandalous, sketchy, any of those things. This video probably not gonna be for you. You know what I'm saying? Unless, and this is like, for example, I'm gonna give you a prime example. Let's say you're a female, and this is no judgment, right? Because when we're young, sometimes we, and even older too, travel, it's a whole nother story. But when you're young, you sometimes make decisions based on what you feel like is best for you at the time, based on your experience. So, and we tend to be a lot more selfish the younger that we are. So it's no judgment. But let's say you're a woman who chose to have a baby with a man, and you know that you guys weren't in a relationship. He really probably wasn't even fucking with you like that, but you felt like, okay, y'all was fucking around, and now you get pregnant, and now you feel like you're in a place where you want to have a baby, or you feel like this baby might really pull you closer to him, you know, once he sees you in that light of being like a mother, you know, being maternal and wifely. Maybe he'll want to be with you or whatever, and so that's why you choose to have the baby. Now, again, primarily this video is not really for you, because it's going to be really hard to build a strong foundation with a man when your situation is based on lies, especially if you have something as big as that, as far as like a child being in the picture or whatever, and it's based on lies. Like, that's going to be really hard to undo. Unless, I think the only caveat to that would be is if you are a truth teller, you're honest, and you can stand on that. If you could have a conversation with your baby daddy and say, you know, Keith, do people name their child Keith anymore? Keith, you know, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I know we wasn't in a relationship. I know that we, you know, didn't have that kind of bond, you know, and I chose to have a baby anyway, you know, and that was my decision. And I thank you for supporting me up until this point. But, you know, I know we wasn't together, and I know you wasn't really rocking with me like that, you know what I'm saying? But I do care about you. And maybe I did have in the back of my mind that I wanted to have you around more, and I thought that maybe it could keep you. But, you know, now that I think about it, and as I've grown, I know that that's not, you know, how that works, and I've learned from that, and I just want to apologize to you for that. You know, start with that. He gonna be like, that just doesn't happen, girlfriends. Like, that doesn't happen. Women can't keep it a buck like that. We will begin to rise to our highest level of vibration, ladies. I promise, if we can start standing in our truth a little bit more, because men are just not expecting it. They don't know, they don't have any other choice but to respect it. But we so scared to do it because of what they gonna think, how we gonna be judged. Like, it is what it is. Our truth is our truth. Can't nobody change it. So what's the point of hiding it? You know, if can't nobody handle it, or if the person can't handle it, then why do we have that person around us? 100. Anyway, I'm about to get to it. All right, you guys. So, you know, just a couple of tips. We're not gonna do the top 5 like I usually do. We just gonna talk, right? Okay. So, one of the main things that I would say, and sorry y'all, I keep touching my hair. I'm not used to having all this. So one of the first things would be, that I said, would be just to grow up, okay? Grow up. All of the bickering, the fighting, the tit for tat, the, you know, stalking his Instagram, stalking the girls you think he's talking to Instagram, DMing them, wanting to freaking pounce on every female that you think he's dating or fucking with, or, you know, playing games with your child, knowing that y'all just got into it or whatever, or had an argument and you feel some type of way, or you seen him on his Instagram about to go on a date with another girl, and then by the time the weekend come for him to have his child, you acting funny and you giving him a bad vibe and bad attitude because you emotional. Grow up, okay? If you decided to have the baby, which again, it is a choice, right? We all have a choice in this age to have the baby or not, and so you made a choice. you have to stand on that choice as a woman. You can't flail back and forth based on what you emotionally feel at the time. It's one of the negative aspects of being a woman, is that sometimes we rely on, or we lean on the fact that, you know, we're kind of given a pass for being able to kind of move with our emotions and act through our emotions. But it's so unattractive, and no man, baby daddy or not, is gonna want to deal with that over the long term, especially if this is a more mature man, or a man that's looking for something that's a little bit more substantial. A woman that has her mind right, that's a little bit more mature, is gonna beat you out. I don't care how she looks. Doesn't have anything to do with that. This is all within her being. And if she exudes and encompasses elements of her that suggest that she's, you know, more mature in that area, or just in general, you're gonna get left behind and in the dust. So your best bet would be to rise to the occasion, not for him, but for you, and grow up. Deal with these issues. Why are you acting like this? Are you jealous and bitter? If that's the case, own it. Don't run, don't hide from it, own it. You know what I'm saying? And then deal with whatever you feel from there. But don't continue to project whatever those negative feelings are to him, and then expect him to somehow fall back in love with you and be swooned by this attitude. No, you're just gonna be a bitter baby mama, and he's gonna move on to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So if you're interested in reconnecting with your baby daddy, having him see you in a different light to potentially get him back, you gotta grow up, sis. You gotta put your big girl panties on, be a great mother to your child, and, you know, just kind of leave those childish, immature high school ways behind. You cannot continue to act out in ways that a child or a younger person would. Okay, grow up. In addition to just, you know, getting on your grown woman shit and, you know, handling your business and things like that, you know, you want to boss up. So once you grow up, you want to boss up. You know what I'm saying? And boss up can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. If you asking me in this context, I would just say that mean get on your business, get on your game, right? If you have a job, let's say you have a job being a receptionist or something at a company or something, you're a receptionist. You could even be a waitress. Let's say you a waitress at a local restaurant or bar or something like that. It's nothing wrong with that at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially for your child's sake or whatever. You have to make ends meet however you can. And there's nothing wrong with having an honest job. But I think that, you know, with that, you really have to get in the mind of being a boss. And in a boss's mind, you're thinking of ways to expand your situation, to expand your current circumstance. So if you're a receptionist or something like that at a company, what you should be doing is figuring out, what do I want to do? What really fuels me? What are the things that I'm naturally good at? What are the things that light me up inside? What are the things I would do if I got paid or if I didn't get paid? You know, and you need to really start brainstorming those things. Get you a book like this. This is not only a book I have for the topics we talk about. I got all kind of information in here about different stuff that I'm working on, you know, and it's not, again, it's not all, you know, stuff that have to do with the Baby Mama Chronicles, right? Get you something like this and brainstorm. You know, no one else has to see this, so you don't have to be afraid of being embarrassed. So somebody's going to see it and think this idea is stupid. No, this is between you and you. You know what I'm saying? And figure out what it is that you really, really want to do. What makes you happy? It could be something as small as, I like to paint fingernails. I like to do makeup. I like to go grocery shopping. I like to, you know, because there's money to be made in these areas. And who knows, if there is something that you like to do, there may be a business that doesn't even exist yet that you can fill a void for. That's where all of the $1 million, $1 billion deals and ideas come from solving a problem or creating a product or whatever that nobody else has, you know, created to solve a problem. So you need to start focusing on those type of things while you're at work on your lunch break, instead of obsessing about him going through his Instagram, scrolling throughout the day, wondering what he's doing, or, you know, looking at his stuff during lunchtime and texting him and on the phone arguing with him throughout your day. Girl, bye. Like, focus on your business, okay? Boss up. It's time to boss up. You know, start looking for that other job. Don't be afraid to, you know, spruce up your resume and get yourself out there. Or hustle up, you know, start thinking about other ways to expand your business. Whatever it is, sis, like, just think about more ways to enterprise and to, you know, just expand your current circumstance. And that requires a lot of time and energy. It's one of the points that I made in one of my earlier videos, is if you have all that going on, you don't have time to be obsessing over no man, baby daddy, or whoever. You just don't have time. You're gonna be exhausted because you have so many things going on that you're trying to, you know, tie up, you know what I'm saying? Or you probably still have a little bit of time, but not as much time. You don't have to be super obsessed. You feel me? Just a little obsessed, slightly obsessed. So yeah, like, boss up, you know, get your business right. Make sure your bills are paid. Make sure you saving up. Stop, you know, spending so much money or eating out. If you need to save up, if you're trying to look to move out, or you looking to, you know, whatever it is that you're trying to do to elevate yourself and make sure that you're, you know, constantly moving to the next level of life. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Focus on that, because that's going to be so attractive to any man, especially a baby daddy, you know, because he's going to see, like, she's doing all of this for our child. She's doing it by herself without my help, and she's not stressing me out and worried about me. Like, somebody going to get her quick, and they know that, you know what I'm saying? And most dudes, it depends on the relationship between the baby daddy and the baby mama, but if y'all know y'all still close and y'all still have that kind of bonding relationship or whatever, and he see that you mobbing and moving like that or whatever, it's gonna catch his eye. He gonna be looking a little bit like, damn, like, she is really on her game. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's always a good tip. You need to, I have on here forgiveness. And I said I wasn't gonna go too long or whatever. I'm watching my time, so yeah. But forgiveness, you guys, forgiveness. You gotta forgive him for whatever kind of grudge you may be holding with him. You have to forgive him. You have to begin to let it go. You know, maybe you're mad or angry at the fact that he left you. For example, I'll be transparent, you know, in this moment. So when I got pregnant with my daughter, I was 21 years old when I was pregnant with my daughter. Had her when I was 22. And throughout my whole pregnancy, my baby's father and I maybe talked, I can count on my hand how many times we probably verbally talked on the phone. We were completely pretty much estranged. I did speak a lot to his family members. We were still very close, and they kept in contact with me, and I would visit them and pull up on them and all kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But he and I were just not in a good place at all. We were probably in one of the worst places that we had ever been at that time when I was pregnant. And to be honest, a lot of it was because I entered in and trying to have a baby with him when I knew that we wasn't solid. And, you know, some of the reasons with me having a baby may have been to keep us together, or to, you know, maybe fulfill some type of fantasy in my head, or fill some type of void that I had with wanting to be a mother and care for something. You know, it could have been a whole bunch of things, or a combination of all of those things. But, you know, I think he picked up on that, and he could sense that, and it made him not want to connect with me. And because I was so rigid and so anti being honest about it, it made it seem like it was just a matter of fact that we got pregnant, like we was together, and he just dipped off and did something scandalous. Like, no, but that's how I carried it. You know, it just kept us separated. We weren't able to meet each other in the middle and communicate. So, you know, at the time, and even a little bit after that, you know, I would feel very angry and upset with him. Like, you know, he ditched me during my pregnancy. He wasn't there for me. Excuse me. He wasn't there for me. He didn't take care of me, you know, and I had to go through my pregnancy by myself and that type of thing or whatever, you know, and I had to, because at the end of the day, although I had my fault in it, he had his fault in it too. And for him to not be there during that time, that crucial time where, you know, my baby was developing, every single move that I make affects the health of this child, and him kind of just ensuring that I was okay, you know, that wasn't right. and he have to, you know, deal with that on his end. And, you know, I had to forgive him for that. I had to let that go, like, and also understand my fault in it. And that helped me forgive him a lot more quicker, to just accept my own fault in it. I had to accept that, let that part of it go, and, you know, just understand that he's human just like I was human. And, you know, he's God's child just like I'm God's child, you know, and he's his mother's child just like I'm my mother's child. So, you know, his mother is, you know, he's gonna be a greater concern to her and that side of the family than, you know, I am, and vice versa. So everything doesn't revolve around you. Everything doesn't, you know, rise and set on you just because you're a female, just because you're a woman, or just because you're the baby mama. You know, he matters too. And, you know, you have to forgive him. You have to kind of soften up your heart a little bit and start telling yourself the truth as to why you even might be in the situation that you're in, and why he may be treating you, or why he may have treated you the way that he did. You are going to have those one-off situations or whatever that are very rare, where two people come together and they choose to have a baby. Let's say they're in a relationship, they engaged, or they married, and then for whatever reason the dude get cold feet and just dip out and never come back. Now, he's an asshole. Yes, we all know that. But how often does that really happen? Typically, you know what kind of relationship you have when you go into having a baby, but you choose to have the baby anyway, even though you know the relationship itself is not solid, right? So I think owning that helps you kind of enter into forgiveness a little bit easier. But it's really, really important when you talk about wanting to reconnect with your baby daddy and kind of just being able to soften up. You got to soften up, soften your heart, ladies. And for me, trust me, I know it's hard, because I'm not that girl. I've hardly ever been that girl. I'm always like super stoic and super like, I don't care. I don't, you know, but, you know, and it's not even for getting back together, just, you know, for your own peace of mind, for your own healing, for your own weight being lifted, so that way you can be more present with your child, and, you know, in the relationship between, you know, you 3 or 4, however many kids y'all got with the baby daddy. You know, it just kind of keeps y'all a little bit more centered and focused on the positives or whatever. So forgive. It will help. You know, let that anger, let that trauma, and let that, you know, blame go. It's gonna help. And lastly, you know, before we get out of here, I'm gonna give y'all one more gem. Support creating a strong bond with him and your child. Support that. So, you know, we've grown up, we've bossed up, we've forgiven him for what we feel, you know, because it's all subjective, but what we feel as though he may have done to us to hurt us or harm us. At that point, or, you know, at this point, then it would be about, you know, just support your baby daddy having a great relationship with his child. There's not going to be any higher level of gratitude a man is going to have with you than if you are making it easy for him to have a relationship with his child. You know, I was born in the 80s. A lot of my followers are probably 90s, 2000s babies or whatever, so I don't really know what your narrative or story may be. But in the 80s, you know, we are a generation of kids that grew up without fathers, or estranged fathers, or fathers that were in and out, or fathers that were not in the home. You know, and not really hands-on with us every day as far as, like, you know, being parents is concerned. So, you know, it devastates a man more when he's born of that era. And maybe that's the case for 90s and 2000s babies. Y'all let me know, y'all. Drop y'all ages in my comments so I know where y'all at with it, just so I can kind of like gauge. And let me know even if y'all, you know, have experienced fatherlessness as baby mamas, you know, or your baby daddy, if he's experienced fatherlessness, because it has an impact on how we raise our kids. So, you know, because I was born in that era, like, you know, it devastates a man more when he's not able to father his own child. It's just, he goes through that process all over again that he had to deal with when his daddy didn't show up at basketball games. His daddy, you know, didn't take him to, you know, his first day of school, or he wasn't there, you know, after his first fight, or, you know, man stuff that we can never really understand if it's a boy. And then if it's a girl, I mean, you already know, I can't even tell you how many times, you know, I have, you know, cried because, you know, my daddy wasn't present at a time where I feel like I really, really wanted him to be. And some of that was on him, and some of that was on, guess who, ladies? It was on my mama, the baby mama. Well, my mama was a wife. Shout out to my mama. But, you know, yeah, like, you know, it was on her, you know what I'm saying, too. And so, You know, try your best. Once you've forgiven and you bossed up and you growing up or whatever, it's gonna be so easy. It's gonna be so easy because you don't want to repeat the cycle. You want your child to be as close with their father as possible, especially if the father wants to be a father. Let that man be a father, and support that. That's the time that's probably the hardest, because you do have to put your feelings on the back burner, and it's not fair. It's not right. You know, it's the burden that we have to bear as moms. You know what I'm saying? But I promise you, ladies, God will notice that, the universe will notice that and sense that positive energy, and you will be rewarded for it. You will have a payoff for having that type of demeanor and attitude, because that's all coming from a positive space. What more, how more can you be blessed than making your child happy and making sure your child is okay? So, you know, just do whatever you can to make sure that their relationship is tight. If that's dropping him off or her off more often because he doesn't have a car, you know, and you stop, and instead of being like, oh, broke ass nigga and shit, it ain't my fault your ass not driving, nigga, you need to get on a bus pass. Like, you know, if you have a car, if God has blessed you enough to have a vehicle, you know, take the child over there if need be. You know what I'm saying? Coordinate that. Make it easy. You know what I'm saying? Not for him, but for your child. So your child has the best experience or whatever with their father. You know, just do whatever it is that you can to make it easier. You know, if the baby daddy is dealing with another woman and that kind of makes it difficult too, it's tough. I'm not gonna make it seem like it's easy. It's not easy, especially when you feel like, you know, like, nigga, you couldn't even act right with me. What make you think that you should just pick up your life and start acting right with, or trying to act right with this female? Like, I get it. But, you know, we women, we gotta carry a lot in this life. You know what I'm saying? That 9 months that we gotta carry our child gives us an indication of what type of role we play in society. We gotta carry and bear a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a part of life. And again, God will bless you. The universe will bless you if you are mature enough to be able to put yourself on the back burner and put your child first in those situations. I promise you. You can tell me. I know it's some ladies that have experienced that. Drop down below in the comments and let me know if after you have been that baby mama that was just giving and caring and understanding, like, if that's changed your life, if that's changed the trajectory of the life between you and your baby daddy and your child, you know, let me know. I'm curious. So I'm not gonna hold y'all. That's, you know, I just wanted to give y'all a little something, you know, based on some of the other things that we had discussed in my comments from previous videos and stuff. But yeah, y'all could do it, ladies. And with those tips, you know, if he's really, and again, this is like, he really got to have love for you. That's how you'll really know. This is a true test. If you do those things that we talked about and that we rapped about today, if you did those things, you giving him an open invitation to really, you know, step up to the plate and really pursue you in that way. If he really loves you, if he really wants you, if that's really in his heart and desire to do, you're gonna pull him to you. You just gonna naturally just pull him to you. And that may be all that was missing, is you being able to do these things. All right, that's the best case scenario. If you want him back, it's gonna pull him back. That is gonna inspire him to be closer to you and connect and create that family and stuff like that that you guys both want. And, you know, other case scenario, not even worst case scenario, but let's say it doesn't end up in a case where y'all end up together. You're going to be so much better, sis. You're going to be so much higher vibrationally. And if y'all not together, y'all could be really good friends. He could really hold you down. He might be somebody that you could go to eventually one day and ask him for advice about another dude that you end up falling in love with. Because, girl, we know you could fall in love with somebody else. You know, it seemed like baby daddy is it all be all. But what about our boyfriend from high school that we thought we was never going to get over? Or from junior high, you know, little Terrell, that we never thought we was going to get over. We got over his ass because it was nothing. Like, you know, and we women, we bear a lot, but our hearts are strong. So if we choose to let something go and get over someone, like, we can do it, you know. So you just never know how things may turn out. But let me know how y'all feel about this video. As always, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate all of y'all for listening and commenting, and I love y'all. I'll see y'all later.